is NightWorld about? Where does it come from is your actual question.
I mean, how long do you have, I guess is my question right away.
Well, NightWorld itself is only about 2 minutes and 17 seconds. I mean, I could talk about it longer than that.
Oh yeah, I could talk about it for days. That's why I'm asking how long you have.
But that was the thing about it. You know, it was about making something short.
It was a childhood dream.
Started early.
You know, making a movie without all the time and money that it really costs to make a movie, and you know, where do you go from there other than, well, I could make a trailer for a movie. NightWorld was a project that I conceived totally by myself about 10 or 20 years ago.
NightWorld has really been on my plate for the past 15 years. Well, those 15 years we took 15 years and turn it into 15 minutes of tape. And then that tape was edited down to 2 minutes and 17 seconds.
It seemed like so long to get the 2 minutes of footage that we did need. It honestly felt like we filmed for 8 minutes. There's a lot in that 2.5 minutes. It's not just 2.5 minutes, it's, you know, 100 and something seconds of, you know, I'm not really good at the math, but yeah, like 200 or 300 seconds, I think, you know, is what that comes down to. Of, you know, in each one of those seconds, you know, there's several layers to each second, and we really got inside of what we wanted to do, and I don't think we wasted a second.
2 minutes and 17 seconds, but there's a lot in there. I think Andy probably explained to you our layering technique, where in each second of the film there's so much going on, you might even want to pause your DVD player. So if you think about that, if you keep pausing your DVD player on each second of a 2 minute and 17 second film trailer, it actually probably extends it by another 2 or 3 minutes. So you actually have a 5 minute short, which is more acceptable to the festival crowds.
What is NightWorld? What's it all about? How we came up with it? And we would always toss this concept around of, you know, what would I ever do if I had to work at night?
A possible scenario in the future, which will happen. It will happen. The world is shifting towards a 24-hour work cycle. Go to Price Chopper at 2 in the morning. Someone's working there, and they could be starting to grow skin over their eyes.
I had made my first trip to the Museum of Natural History, and I had seen a lot of different types of animals, and what really stuck out was I saw these lizards that had grown skin over their eyes because they had lived underground. They didn't need to see.
Like a flat.
Like an eyelid that didn't open up again. I remember thinking, like, wow, that's really terrible, but they're adapting, you know, it seems like it works for them. And then I remember I brought that concept back to you, and at first I remember you saying, you know, that's a stupid concept, and you thought I was lying about the whole thing.
I just didn't want to do another creature movie.
What would happen if man was put in these extraordinary situations and made to deal with the repercussions of his own actions?
Basically, NightWorld is my homage, tribute to time travel. Yeah, that's what makes it science fiction, that there's this giant evolutionary rift between two societies now, and those, you know, there's discrimination. It's a social commentary, really, but
it is scientific.
There's no reason to be afraid of them, because it could be your mother or your father going to work, and they changed. What are you going to hate them now? You know, like.
Right.
So that's
where the fiction part comes in, of course. Fiction meaning family.
It's better than science fiction, because a lot of science fiction is stupid.
The science part is still intact. It's scientific. Science being that if I had to work at night, skin would probably grow over my eyes. I don't know.
Well, the word
I'm
shift
not in that
alone.
position.
The word shift alone.
Shift.
That is a scientific word. I've
Right.
heard it used in science before.
I remember, I remember being in science class. Yeah, I wasn't really paying attention to the science, but I remember hearing words like shift,
Moon. Permeability.
things like that.
I think that had to do with rocks.
Kinetic energy, things. I could go on for minutes about this. Much like evolution and much like people adapting to different situations. Would there be repercussions? And that's what we're exploring in this
Not
movie.
just the body. Could society?
Could society deal with that? Right. And of course, there's going to be people who aren't working at night. And how are those people, the daytime workers, going to interact with the nighttime workers, say when the nighttime worker has a day off? It's about making the right choices and knowing that the right choices might be right for you and might be totally foreign to somebody else.
It's about time travel.
I'd say for fans of time travel movies would really love this. Although it's got nothing to do with time travel. Jim, a classically schooled time travel movie aficionado. It's ridiculous how much he knows about the 7 or 8 movies that have been made about that topic. I mean, actors and timelines and where they traveled to and what time they wanted to go to that they couldn't because their machine just wasn't good enough. So I would never try to step on any toes in that regard. But sometimes it's hard to get the point across that everything's not about time travel. That just because time is moving on doesn't make it a time travel piece. I mean, by that regard, every movie would be a time travel movie. I saw a great Adam Sandler movie the other day. It was about, from 1 week in August, up until, the last week in September, It took some time, it spanned some time. I would never call that a time travel movie. NightWorld is for people who like movies about time travel. It's not about time travel.
If you travel to a future where skin was growing over a certain population's eyes because their entire work habits have changed, then you're looking at a possible future like
tomorrow,
in a string of
this could happen. It's not. You don't have to take a time machine to a magical place and see this. This is
no. There's no magic in the movie. It's not really about magic or wizardry. The movie is completely about time travel, and what I like to call my time travel possibility scenario. I like to incorporate it into the art.
Constantly bringing up this time traveling something or another that he's trying to squeeze into the movie, and I keep saying we have 8.5 minutes of footage. You shot most of it.
It's never addressed verbally.
Not directly.
Or even we show, there's time.
We do show
time.
A couple weeks, maybe.
So that's time travel. We're taking you on a voyage, which would happen in the future and will
happen.
It's happening. Banks are open later.
Right.
My bank.
My
bank never used to even be open on Saturdays. Nor did the post office, and now they're open till 5.
Open till 5 o'clock. All of a sudden, it's not for everybody. It's not. Hey, it's a Saturday afternoon. What are the kids doing? It is rated R. You can't take the kids.
And some people are like, how?
You can take the kids if you're an adult, but we're saying.
How could a trailer be rated R? People say it's like, well, it is.
Right. We didn't want the NR rating, because you know what everybody thinks when they see NR.
NRA.
They think guns.
And I hope everybody will watch it and enjoy it.
And to be able to sit here and share that with everybody, and so where do we go from here? Is probably a question that a lot of viewers watching this are.
Well, I always wanted to be a filmmaker, but it's too much work. I really don't have anything in the works. I was gonna relax for a while.